So first of all, I really want to thank all of you who are here, especially the service members, the brave men and women of the IDF who protect us and fight for Israel, and more importantly than just fighting for Israel, fight for the free world. I made Aliyah October 13th last year to have your back. I can't fight like you guys do, but you know, throughout the diaspora, everyone says, thank God for the IDF, thank God for Israel, there'll never be another Holocaust. But when October 7th happened, we needed to be there for Israel. So my wife and I got on a plane early and came here to show our support however we can. And I know sometimes we feel alone, especially here in Israel, that the world is against us. Anti-Semitism is rising, anti-Zionism is rising, and we feel alone because of social media in particular. But what I wanted you guys to know is you're not alone. I first and foremost want to thank Daniel Posner and Athletes for Israel for sponsoring this trip and bringing Nick Lowery and Tony Richardson to Israel. So first of all, thank you so much to Athletes for Israel for making this happen. And Nick and Tony have been speaking out against racism, anti-Semitism, and intolerance through sports. It's a main part of our mission. It's what we're all about. And shortly after October 7th, as a partnership with the Maccabi World Union at Project Max, we started a campaign called Sport Speaks Up, where we ask professional athletes to, what we say, adopt a hostage. So the hostages can't speak. They're held in Gaza in tunnels, in homes of UNRWA employees who also happen to be Hamas members. And they have been lending their voices to people like the Beavis family. Nick adopted Naama Levy, and today we met with Naama's father and brother, Yoni and Amit, to listen to their story about what the family's been through the last 14 months, and to hear about what Nick and Tony have been doing to speak out on their behalf. This has been a very powerful and emotional trip. Obviously, there was no Dead Sea, there was no Masada, there was no time on the Tel Aviv beaches. Nick and Tony wanted to see the truth for themselves. It was interesting, a few days before they arrived, they both messaged me and called me saying, how are we going to get there? We heard that the Houthis shot a missile at the Tel Aviv airport and it's closed. And I live in Tel Aviv, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, because yes, the Houthis shot a missile, and thank God for the THAAD missile defense system, which is the United States. But we're fine, and the missile was intercepted. I said, you know, just come for yourselves. And Tony, to his credit, said, I'm not afraid, military family, and we want to come see for themselves. And so they've been here to bear witness. We have been to Kfar Aza. We have been to the Nachal Oz base, where Naama was kidnapped from, and so many other brave young women. We went to the Nova Festival site. But also, as we know as Israelis, which a lot of the world doesn't think about, is it's not just been Jews that have been affected and killed and kidnapped. We're a country that is diversified: Muslims, Christians, Jews, Arabs, Israelis, and Druze. And yesterday we had a very, very difficult day, and we went to Mazdal Shams. And we met with the parents of 10 of the 12 children who were killed by Hezbollah rockets. We spent time with people, also remember the 39 survivors. There were 39 children, and there was a lot of tears. But in addition to the tears, Nick and Tony got on the soccer field with them again, and were kicking footballs. And by the time we left, the kids were having their jerseys autographed, they were smiling, they were doing selfies, and really importantly, they were being children, which is something that was taken away from them just about 5 months ago. So I cannot thank Nick and Tony enough for coming in the middle of a war to see for themselves and to use their platforms to tell the truth about Israel, to tell the truth about IDF, and as military families, to meet with the brave men and women of the IDF We came from an event a little earlier where we gifted tactical ballistic helmets to members of the IDF that are going back into the reserves to fight in Gaza this week. So on behalf of all of us, I want to thank you, but I'd like to ask you to kind of share your thoughts about what you've seen. And
so first and foremost, we want to say thank all you guys for coming out tonight. We would not be here for this incredible man, so please give it up for Mr. Eric Rubin. He's been absolutely incredible from the time, and I'm going to introduce Nick because I want to give him a proper introduction. But Nick and I are joined at the hip because he was someone when I came to the Kansas City Chiefs, and we're both now inducted to the Chiefs Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. It's going to be up there forever, and as my running back coach Jimmy Ray would say, indelible ink. But I would always just like walk out on the field. I'm like, man, look at all those great names up there, great names up there. Nick Nowry's name was always up there, and he was always so generous, always so kind with his time. And so one day I was fortunate to be inducted to the Chiefs Ring of Honor. So anytime that Nick says, hey, can you? Yes. Will you? Yes. Can you? He never has to tell me the details. He knows this, and he'll tell you. And the same thing with Eric, when he said, hey, I have a friend, and he connected me with Eric. Eric was like, yeah, can you, yeah, can you, yeah. I was like, yes, I'm in. So we're joined at the hip. You guys are stuck with us. I hate to say this, but we're gonna make many more trips here, but we're definitely stuck. Just looking at my story, my dad served 32 years, Army, Vietnam veteran, Purple Heart. My sister served 28, 4 deployments. My whole family was military. So when I see all these young, beautiful men and women out here who are willing to say, yes, I will. My dad was drafted, and he was a young kid. My parents have been married for 40 plus years. My parents met, they were high school sweethearts, 16 and 14. My dad went and served, but yes, I will. And my sister joined, yes, I will. So for all you guys to say, yes, I will, and I will serve my country, and just let you know you're not alone. And that's the thing that I know Nick will express, and Eric, like, we have your back. In the United States, we're getting back on a plane tonight, unfortunately. There's my buddy with the Dolphins hat on. We're gonna stop the Dolphins behind us. But I'm going back and have a game on Sunday. But the thing about it is, like, this is not, we talked to all the families, and like, this isn't something we're just doing to do photo ops and just come and leave and come, you are part of our DNA, you're part of our lives. Nick has 1 million followers on Instagram. He speaks every single day about what's going on here. And it's not, because and Eric can tell you, like, there's been things I've posted and people like, oh, I thought it didn't happen. I was like, okay, shut up. I can't say what I really said, but I want to say that. And I've showed different things to Eric, and it's like, when you post things, and I'm like, okay, unless you want to get on a plane and come and see for yourself what's really going on here. I think Tuesday night, Nick and I were in a bomb shelter. The sirens went off, and Eric told us where they were located. We went in, and it's okay, but I've seen little kids in there. Little kids should not have to be in there. That should not be a normal part of life where kids know, oh, it's going off. We need to get up and no, that's not normal. That's not necessary. No one needs to live their life like that. So I'm not gonna talk too much because I really want to introduce my buddy Nick. When I tell you when I say frontline, you guys know about frontline, Nick has used his voice, he's used his influence, he's used his social media, he's an all-time leading scorer in Kansas City Chiefs history. And that says a lot. Yeah, go Chiefs. There we go. We got a Rock Chalk over here. We got a KU grad over here. But not only that, he has a lot of connections in a lot of different places, and he speaks out. And sometimes it's not the most popular voice. Sometimes it's not the most popular things he said, but he's fighting. And one thing I told Eric, we always want to be a voice for the voiceless. Like, I do a lot of work when you talk about Special Olympics. Like, sometimes young people with disabilities, and I say abilities, I hate the word disabilities, speak on behalf of them. Nick speaks on behalf of everyone. And I've seen this man get in the front line when it's not popular. I've seen him step across barriers and lines when it's not popular, where it's like, oh, athletes should just stay in their place. They should just shut up and dribble. Okay, how about shut up and just mind your own business? And this is why I want to give Nick the proper due, because this is my brother for life, and I know where his heart is, and his heart is right here. And I know for a fact that he didn't have this beautiful home in Arizona, he would be living here in Tel Aviv, and he might actually, look at his tan. You think he got his tan? No, but anyway, I just want to give this guy his proper due, because as soon as Eric reached out to him and told him what was going on, he jumped on social media, he jumped and started making differences. So without further ado, Mr. Nick Lowery, one of my brothers and brothers for life, Kansas City Chiefs.
That's a lot of ado. That's a lot of ado. I want to start off, thank you for all your awesome words. I mean, it takes a team, it takes a team, it takes a team, it takes working together. And leadership, the great leadership, words are great, actions are what it really matters. Eric Rubin, you have to understand the level of integrity and passion and consistency, because making real change is not only having a vision, but sticking with it day after day when it's not easy. Getting up in the morning, spending your own money and your time, and most importantly, when it's not popular, sticking with it. And so this man, without him, I wouldn't be here, Tony wouldn't be here, and most importantly, we want to make sure Israel is here for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And so it's an easy yes for us. So I just want to thank Eric for your brotherhood, and Tony. And I was just thinking, what am I going to say? So here's just an analogy. Tony, fullbacks in the NFL, the average career in the NFL is 3.5 years. Tony played 17, but he played it as a running back. And as a running back, he was blocking. Are you okay?
No, we have an incredible athlete over here. I'll let Eric Rubin do it, and then go ahead, Eric. Introduce. Well, we get this.
Let me finish first.
He's like he's going to have Tourette's or something. So yeah.
So,
in the corner. Everybody needs to know who's in the corner.
while she's in the corner, I think that one of the things we've done at Project Max is not just bring some of America's greatest athletes to the fight against racism, anti-Semitism, intolerance, but we've brought some of Israel's greatest athletes. So just some of the Israeli athletes, I'm going to start first, is probably the most recent is Peter Palchak has joined us at Project Max, Arik Ze'evi, Ori Sassan, but probably one of the greatest basketball players to come from Israel, who played in the WNBA. Shai Doron is also here and part of our initiative at Project Max. And I think the fact that Shai came out tonight, not only to thank you and appreciate you, but to stand with American athletes in this fight is really, really important. So Shai, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Shai. And now I'm just going to say, Tony was a blocker, right? Here he was as a fullback having to give up his body. When you block, you're having 300 and 350-pound linemen crushing you, and he led some of the greatest running backs. And who got the credit? The running backs that carried the ball, but he was the one that really was clearing the way. And I think that's kind of what we're doing here. So to me, that's the analogy. He played 17 years, I played 18 years, and I think we both are agreed that what we're saying today, what we did this week, thanks to Eric and all of you, it's about not only what we do now, but where we will be when we come back, maybe for the Maccabee Games in late July, but we keep doing it. We keep growing the support, telling the stories. So we're just honored to have the chance to honor you all, honor Israel, and stick up for the only democracy here in this part of the world. So it's an easy thing for us, and our job will be to tell the stories of the true heroes like Naama Levy and her family, and the hostages, and stick up for them and fight against racism and anti-Semitism. So it's an easy thing. It's an easy yes, right?
You met your hero today, or parents.
We met Naama's father and brother, and you know what they've been going through, right? It's hard to express the pain that they're going through. So to me, it's for us to channel that pain into something productive. So thank you, Eric, for giving us this chance. Thank you, Tony, because I'm stronger because Tony's at my side. We're all stronger when we work together, when Israel and America work together. And we love to look at your faces, your smiling faces, but we know you've learned to work and to smile through pain and challenge and hatred with your own courage and gratitude and wisdom and love. So God bless you, and let's keep those things: courage, wisdom, love, gratitude, integrity, dignity of all human beings. That's what we're here for. So God bless you. We're here for the long run. I'm at Nick Lowery 88 on Instagram. You're at Tony Rich NY. C?
Yeah. NY. Tony Rich NY.
Tony Rich NY. If you want to get in touch with us, we're really good at returning messages. And if there's a story we need to tell, please let us know. Is that a deal? Hold up your hands. Is that a deal? Everybody, come on now. Because Israel deserves to have its, not just for Israel, but for all the people that respect the dignity of all human beings. So God bless you and thank you.
Yeah, and you guys need to give your own self a round of applause because you realize what you're actually doing. We talk about that. So everybody in the room, just to start clapping and just say thank you to everybody around you because you guys are true heroes.